So, our topic is chapter 7, creating a vision. So, let's proceed to the objectives. First, understand the characteristics of a vision. Second, examine the process of vision articulation. Third, discuss vision implementation. And last, focus on how to develop a workable vision for different contexts. So next, what is a vision? Vision is a mental model of an ideal future state or what would be. Itong vision, tumutukoy ito sa pangitain natin. Ito yung mga bagay na iniisip natin or ano yung mangyayari sa buhay natin. Halimbawa, sa atin, ano ba yung vision natin sa buhay natin? Sa family natin, friends, pag-aaral, or sa community kung saan tayo nabibilang. Yun ang tinutukoy niya. Second, vision implies change and challenge people to reach a higher standard of excellence, giving meaning and purpose to people. Ito, yung tinutukoy nito, kailangan yung maging prepared tayo to inspire us, to guide and lead us sa journey na pupuntahan natin and to challenge us to facing all the struggles. So yun. Dito sa pagiging prepared, kailangan natin ng kumbaga, gusto ba natin ng ganito lang yung buhay natin or gusto natin na may makamit tayo sa buhay? And last, they are shared by the leader and members of the group or organization. For example, yung vision ng ISU is a leading research university in the Asian region. So yun ang kailangan sa atin ng school na kailangan maging leading researcher tayo sa buong Asian. Dito naman tayo sa Vision in Training and Development Literature. According to Covey in 1991, identifies vision as one of the 7 habits of highly effective people. Ayan, nakikita nyo dyan sa picture, yung sa vision, nakapaloob dyan yung future, success, goals, growth, creativity, and innovation. Yan yung tinutukoy ng 7 habits of highly effective people. Next, they begin with the end in mind and have deep understanding of their goals, values, and mission in life in which provides the basis for everything else they do. Kumbaga, tumutukoy ito na sa pag-challenge sa atin to become stronger in facing all the struggles and obstacles that we encounter. Yun ang ibig sabihin niya. Kumbaga, kailangan yung handang-handa, kayang-kaya mo na lahat, yung para ma-mold yung kaalaman, kaisipan mo, ganun. Ito naman sa training and development content. According to Lower End Squad, since 2001, stressed that people are a mission-specific species, and their goal should be to mobilize their sources of energy to accomplish their intended mission. So ito, tinutukoy nito yung pagmold ng ating kaalaman or kakayanan para magawa yung mga bagay at doon kung baga sa kailangan mong gawin lahat para ma-reach mo yung gusto mong kunin. For example, sa pandemic ngayon, kasalukuyan tayo nag-aaral or pilit natin nakikipagsabayan para lang may matutunan tayo at maging successful ang pag-aaral natin. Kumbaga, hindi tayo nagpapabuwal dahil lang dito sa COVID-19 pandemic. So, according to Causers and Poshers, since 2003, leadership practices instrument identifies vision as one of the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. Yun nga, yung sinabi ko kanina, yung pagiging prepared natin to lead and guide us in our journey to inspired, to challenge, and to become stronger to facing all the challenge and to mold our mind and skills. So next, dito naman tayo sa vision in theories of leadership. First, transformational leaders demonstrate vision as one of 4 factors of performance. Yun nga, nabanggit ko rin kanina. Yun nga, yung pagiging prepared natin. Charismatic leaders create challenges by thinking their values and vision to the self-concept of followers. For example, ito si Mother Teresa, who linked her vision of serving the poor to her followers' beliefs, personal commitment, and self-sacrifice. Kumbaga, ito yung advocacy niya, yung tumulong sa mga mahirap, yun yung vision niya sa buhay. Kumbaga, alam niya sa sarili niya na kaya niyang makatulong sa maraming mga nangangailangan. Yun nga, yung pagiging self-confidence niya, pinakita niya yung para makomit niya kung ano yung kagustuhan niya sa buhay. And yun, parang natupad nga. So, another slide will proceed to the others.
Characteristics of a vision. A vision creates a picture of a future that is better than the status quo. It is an idea about the future that requires an act of faith by followers. Visions paint an ideal image of where a group or an organization should be going. It may be an image of a situation that is more exciting, more affirming, or more inspiring. As a rule, these mental images are of a time and place where people are working productive to achieve a common goal. Although it is easier for followers to comprehend a detailed vision, a leader's vision is not always fully developed. Sometimes a leader's vision provides only a general direction to followers or gives limited guidance to them. At, at other times, a leader may have only a bare bones notion of where he or she is leading others. The final pictures may not emerge for a number of years. Nevertheless, when a leader is able to paint a picture of the future that is attractive and inspiring, it can have significant impact on his or her ability to lead others effectively. Another characteristic of a vision is that it represents a change in the status quo and moves an organization or a system toward something more positive in the future. Visions point the way to new ways of doing things that are better than how things were done in the past. They take the best features of a prior system and strengthen them in the pursuit of a new goal. Changes can occur in many forms: rules, producers, goals, values, or rituals, to name a few. Because vision implies change, it is not uncommon for a leader to experience resistance to the articulated vision. Some leaders are even accused of stealing the path. When promoting visionary changes, usually, though, visions are compelling and inspire others to set aside old ways of doing things and to become part of the positive changes suggested by a leader's vision. A third characteristic of a vision is that it is about values or the ideas, beliefs, and modes of action that people find worthwhile or desirable. To advocate change within a group or an organization requires an understanding of one's own values, the values of others, and the values of organization. Visions are about changes in those values. For example, if a leader creates a vision that emphasizes that everyone in the company is important, the dominant value being expressed is human dignity. Similarly, if a leader develops a vision that suggests that everyone in the company is equal, the dominant value being expressed is fairness and justice. Visions are grounded in values. They advocate a positive change and movement toward some new set of ideals. So doing, they must address values. The rest of the characteristic of a vision was explained by Novelyn May Yap.
So one of the characteristics of a vision is a map. So a vision serves as a roadmap for people, indicating whether they're on track or not. Next is when people know they're on track, they feel confident and relaxed. And people benefits from visions because they offer them with a guiding philosophy that provides them meaning and purpose. And next is people can appreciate their contributions to the organizations more when they understand the bigger picture. And next is people can appreciate their contributions to the organizations more when they understand the bigger picture. And lastly is challenge. So a vision encourages people to go beyond the status quo in order to help others. And next is people are challenged by visions to devote themselves to worthwhile pursuits. And John F. Kennedy's My Fellow Americans speech is one of example of it. And last is the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's team in training program is an example of an organization having an obvious challenge component. This is the summary of characteristics of a vision. So A vision is a representation of a desirable future condition. It paints an image of a better future than the one we have now, one that is based on values and pushes for a shift toward a new set of ideas. People can use vision as a map to help them find their way around. People can use vision as a map to help them find their way around. People are also challenged by vision to contribute to a higher common good.
Good day, sir. I am Glydel Guillermo from BSCS Today, I will be going to discuss Chapter 7, which is Creating Visions. So, the topic that I chose was Articulating Visions. Articulating visions. Although it is very important for a leader to have a visions, it is equally important for a leader to be able to articulate, explain, and describe the visions to others. Although some are better than this, there are certain ways that all leaders can improve the way they communicate to their visions. So the second articulating visions was, first, a leader must communicate the visions by adapting the visions to his or her audience. So, Festinger of 1957 says, psychologists tells us the most have a drive for consistency, and when confronted with a need to change, will do so only if the required change is not too different from the present state. So as a leader, she or he needs to articulate the visions to fit within the other's latitudes of acceptance by adapting the visions to the audience. Then, if the vision is too demanding and advocates too big a change, it will be rejected, and if it is articulated in light of the status quo and does not demand too great a change, it will be accepted. Articulating a vision also requires choosing the right language. As a leader, you should use words and symbols that are motivating and inspiring. It was Sashkin of 2004, Zakharov and Banks of 2001 says. And words that describe a visions need to be affirming, uplifting, and hopeful, and describe the visions in a way that underscores its words. Visions also needs to be described to others using inclusive language that links people to the visions and make them part of the process. Words such as we and are inclusive and better to use than they or them. The goal of this type of language is to enlist participations of others and build community around a common goal. Inclusive language helps bring this about. So in general, to articulate the visions clearly requires that a leader must adapt the content to the audience, emphasize the vision's intrinsic value, select words and symbols that are uplifting, and use language that is inclusive. If a leader is able to do these things, he or she will increase the chances that the vision will be embraced and the goal achieved. So, take a note of this, adapt the content, emphasize the vision's intrinsic value, words and symbols, and inclusive. Implementing a vision also requires a leader to set high performance expectation for the others. Setting challenging goals motivates people to accomplish a mission. Implementing visions is a true test of a leader. In addition to creating and articulating a visions, a leader needs to implement the visions. Perhaps the real test of a leader's abilities occurs in the implementation of the pace of vision. Implementing a vision requires a great deal of an effort by a leader over an extended period. Although some leaders can talk and talk, leaders who implement the visions walk and walk. Most importantly is implementing a visions the leader must model to others the attitudes, the values, the behaviors set forth in the visions. The leader is a living example of the ideals articulated in the vision. For example, here is if the visions is a promote a deeply humanistic organizations. The leader needs to demonstrate qualities such as empathy and caring in every actions. Similarly, if the vision is to promote community values, the leader needs to show interest in the other and in a common good of a broader community. When a leader is seen acting out of the vision, he or she builds credibility with others. This credibility inspires people to express the same kind of values. For the summary, first, an effective leaders clearly articulate the visions to others. This requires the leaders to adapt the visions to attitudes and values of the audience. Second, the leader highlights the intrinsic values of the visions, emphasizing how the visions present ideals worth pursuing. Third, a competent leader uses language that is motivating and uplifting to articulate the vision. And finally, the leader uses inclusive language that enlists participations from others and builds community. A challenge for a leader is to carry out the different process of implementing a visions. To implement a visions, the leaders need to be a living model of the ideals and values articulated in the visions. So in addition, he or she must set a high performance expectation for others and encourage and empower others to reach their goals. So thank you.